All right, go ahead.
Okay, I'm ready to start, and we'll start at the beginning with some things about me when I was a little girl. I was born on June 10th, 1948 in Sparta, Wisconsin. It's a little town just a little ways from La Crosse, Wisconsin, where I went to college. My mom's name was Beverly Johnson, and she, of course, married my dad, who was Ed Rue. My mom's mom and dad's names were Laura and Nelson Johnson, and they were from Sweden. And they raised my mom and her 7 brothers and sisters on a farm right outside of Sparta. And my mom had a great life. My dad used to have dances in the barn on Friday nights. And in the morning, my mom and her brothers and sisters would look around on the ground to see if anybody had dropped money, and they'd find all kinds of money. And my dad, his mom's name was Julia Day, and she married his dad, who was John Ashley Rue. His dad was a World War I hero. He rode a horse during World War I and received a Medal of Honor and a French Medal of Honor. My dad was also in World War II. My dad grew up basically his mother was a teacher, and part of his life he did spend in an orphanage. But my dad was an only child. After my parents married, they were to have 7 children. And my dad worked in finance. He worked for Thorpe Finance for many years. And then he developed his own company called Rue Realty. And my mom stayed at home, but she had a lot of work to do because she had 7 kids. And she always cooked big meals at home. We'd always have a big meal every night. And she was a great mom. She was always at home, always waiting to talk to us. And our dad was just a hard worker and always made enough money to raise 7 kids. I had, again, 6 brothers and sisters besides myself. The oldest is Mike. The next one is John, and then Al, better known as Uli. Then myself, and then my sister Mary, and my brother Mark, and my sister Kathy. Hi guys, I love you. As I said, my mom always cooked these really good meals, and she was most well known for her roast beef and potatoes and carrots, and made that every Sunday. But she had to make enough food to feed 9 people, and we had to eat really fast. So before my brothers would take all the food, I'd have to grab food really fast. So I loved her roast beef, and she also used to make something called salmon loaf. And the cool thing about that was, not that it tasted so good, it was good, but when she was mixing it up and taking it out of the can, my sister Mary and I would run to the table and we'd try to find all the little round bones, and we'd see how many we could each find, and then we'd eat those. For some reason, that was a really big deal. My mom also made great potato salad, homemade potato salad. It was awesome. And she made the best fudge. Her chocolate fudge never got hard, so you couldn't cut it in squares, but she poured it out in a buttered pan, and you get a big spoon and you just put it in there and swipe it up and eat it off the spoon, and it was absolutely the best. I've never been able to make it like that, but it was super good. When I was little, I went to school. I started school. I had a Catholic school in Richland Center, and this was a really, really old building. When you'd walk on the stairs would creak, so it was a little bit spooky. And all the teachers were nuns with the Catholic Church. And I remember every grade I went into, they'd always say, "Are you related to Mike or John or Al Rue?" And as soon as they asked that question, I knew I was in trouble. Lunchtime, the thing I remember about that school, we'd go down into this basement. And it was, on the lower level, way down in the basement. And we'd sit at the lunch table, and all I can remember ever having is tomato soup, Campbell's tomato soup, but it was made with water. And then we'd have some kind of a sandwich, but we'd always get those little milk cartons, and those were cool. But one day I was talking to my friends at the table, and one of my friends, I was drinking my milk, and one of my friends said something so funny. I still remember this like it just happened. And I drank my milk at the same time I had it in my mouth, and milk came out my mouth and my nose. And I was so embarrassed. Everybody was laughing at me. But after grade school, when I was in about 8th grade, we moved to Reedsburg, and I went to Webb High School. I was a cheerleader, because that was about as close to sports as you could get back then. There were no sports for girls at all. So I was a cheerleader for all 4 years.